So
Yeah.
you've been through a lot over the last, I think it was like maybe last April we got together, but I think it's a good starting point where sometimes people assume, hey, if somebody has money, it's been ringing so true, man. It's so funny. I was just listening to the Jim Carrey quote where he said, "I wish everybody could become rich and famous so they realize that that's not really the key to solving all your happiness and all your problems." And you went through something pretty big, man. You had a huge storm out there. And I remember you sent me a text and you were like, man, when things like this in life happen, it doesn't matter what you have. Like, everybody struggles together. Like, it reignites that human connection where people just need to help each other, and all that other stuff doesn't matter. So talk a little bit about that, man, because you've been through a bunch of hardships in life. And just because you find financial success doesn't mean that you don't have problems, doesn't mean that things don't come up where you have the human element of that. And you still have to get through it. You still have to keep your positive shoes on. And you showed a ton of gratitude in a really, really tough time in your life. So I always love to hear more about that.
Wow. It's been about a year. And, as I talk through this to the listeners here, there's going to be a lot of good lessons that you can apply to just everyday life, everyday business. A word started coming up called toxic positivity. You ever heard that word?
Yes, yeah.
That really bothered me for a little while because I felt like people might have been missing the point. But then, as I've had a lot of time to do soul searching, there was some toxic positivity for sure there. What I've learned through that is it's not about pretending that bad things are good. It's about how to use what's negative in a positive way. You have to allow the grieving. You have to allow the emotion. You're too smart to fool yourself. But if you can stay in the mindset that, yeah, this sucks, this is negative, how can I use it in a positive way? Then every bad thing that happens carries an equal seed of positivity, and your approach can nurture that seed and you can get the other side of it. So to sum it up, when something bad happens, hey, you're having a hard time in your business, good. You get to grow. Things aren't working out, good. You get to look at things from a different perspective. If you can allow the existence of the negative side, but then quickly move into good, this will allow me to X, Y, and Z, then it just opens up a whole new world. So anyway, when my child brings me a problem, I'm like, good, now you can do this. Because I'm just trying to get our mind shifted back into the next phase. So, we had a huge storm here. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. It was like the weather haven, safe haven of the country. Just perfect weather, nature, just a great spot to be all around. And then the trees attacked us. You have all these hippies and tree lovers out here. And we got a lot of rain, softened the ground. Then we got wind, and all these trees just started coming up, and it was yeah, it was horrific. It was no utilities for a month. After a week of not having utilities, people start getting a little stabby. People get shot. It's crazy how fast things could take a turn. We're really only civil because it serves us. We haven't been out of the woods that long in the scale of evolution. I think that's a George Carlin quote of sorts. So yeah, things get primal, really crazy, but having community, being able to come together, you learn a lot. A lot of relationships got deepened, and now we can look at things in another way. So whether it's a storm in your business, right now things are changing so rapidly, or a storm that literally destroys your town. And Nick, I'm talking about like our favorite restaurants are just like not there. It's like the building was just gone because what happened was the rivers rose about 25 feet. So no amount of infrastructure could have possibly contained that. And it happened so fast that the rushing water was just pushing everything down, just knocking everything down. Now, I'm fortunate whenever I sold my company, I basically bought a mountain and moved to the top of the mountain. So I didn't have the water elements, but with all this acreage out here, we had so many trees down that I've been I'm way better at using a chainsaw than I ever want to be. I'm way better at chopping wood, which by the way, I've learned a lot about chopping wood. It is the number one thing, even above fighting, to increase testosterone.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So I've been chopping wood and like getting these good like rushes of, I don't know, the benefits of testosterone. And then I guess my phone knew I was chopping wood. So I started getting all of these things about about chopping wood. And I'm like, all right, this is my new thing. So I got firewood for years. The house we're building is now completely off grid. I was never a prepper in the past, but now I'm just kind of prepared for when things happen. And that's the same thing in business. Things are changing really fast. The rivers are rising. Old ways are getting pushed down. So with the right mindset, it's fantastic. It's like one of the most exciting times to be building right now. If you're well established, it kind of sucks because it's hard to be like a startup and an established company at the same time, especially if you get comfortable, if you're complacent, if you're not finding joy in the growth side of it, it's tougher, but that basically just opens up the paths for people